Good morning and welcome to this Thursday edition of Chicago Now. We are inching toward the weekend.
Yes.
I've been looking forward to these temperatures today too, Caitlin.
Have you?
Yes, I'm ready for it.
You like the heat?
I don't like the heat, but I'm ready to experience it after a long winter.
I totally am with you. Me, on the other hand, today feels like the fourth Friday of the week. I'm so
That's right, because
confused.
you worked on Sunday.
It's like, I don't even know what day it is, what time it is. I don't think the weekend's ever coming.
Caitlin's been saying it feels like Thursday since
Tuesday.
I sympathize with that.
Thursday.
All right, we're almost there. We're almost to the actual Friday. We've got a lot to get to here in the next hour. One of the things that is buzzing in Chicago right now, more speed cameras. I actually thought that Mayor Johnson was against these, but 10 more are being installed. We're going to give you a warning. We're going to tell you where they're going in and when you will be ticketed if you are going too fast. We're also going to talk a lot of, I know it's a cliche to talk about the weather, but a lot of people are talking about the weather today, Caitlin.
Yeah,
you guys are busy today.
Especially with Beyonce coming, tonight at Soldier Field. We've got a concert going on. We could see severe storms this afternoon and this evening. So today is going to be a very hot day, but it's also going to be perhaps busy. If these thunderstorms start, so if they initiate, I was explaining this to my husband this morning, are we going to have thunderstorms or are we not? Is my mic turned off? Oh, I didn't touch it. Can you hear me?
Caitlin, is mine on?
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Check, check, check.
Do we need to borrow?
All right, I think this way is on.
I can lean closer to
There,
you.
yeah,
You can
yeah.
pick up some of my
You guys
mic
let me
as
know if I
well.
need
We're
to
getting
swap
cozy here.
Anyways, so the thing is, we have a cold front moving through. So if these thunderstorms develop, if the skies look like they're getting dark, these thunderstorms could explode, basically, become severe fast, and then we have all threats possible: hail, damaging wind, and tornadoes. I'll tell you the specifics about those threats. Also, we've got more storms possible tomorrow for your Friday, and then it's going to be cooler this weekend. I could talk for probably 25 minutes.
Real quick, though, before we go to our trending topics, Caitlin, for the concert goers, though, what's the timing on all those possibilities?
Around 3 to 4 west, if it happens west.
Oh, so well before showtime then, because the show starts at 7.
Until about 10, we have that chance for severe weather.
Guys, do I need to keep invading Caitlin's personal space,
Can you
or
guys
is
hear
her
me?
mic on? Not that I mind.
Check, 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 check. If I get away, can you hear me? No. Still can't hear
Oh,
me.
okay. We'll switch it out.
This is a live show for you.
I'm
just
going
see if
to,
it's turned on.
I'm going to talk
yeah.
at people for a while.
Okay, go ahead, Anthony.
She says 3 or 4 if you're in the western suburbs.
Until about 10.
You know what I'll do while Caitlin's switching out her mic? I'm going to run everybody through where
Thanks,
these
Kyle.
speed cameras are rolling in. Okay, there are 11 new ones, and they span different parts of the city. Greenbrier Park, Edgebrook Park, right in Lincoln Park on the 1600 block of North LaSalle. Oh no, that's like North and LaSalle. That's right by the Chicago History Museum.
Okay.
Hirsch Metropolitan High School. Now, a lot of these are going in around schools. Rosedale Park, Meyering Park, Nat King Cole Park, Kaczynski Murphy Park. One is going in near Tilden High School. One is going in near Perspectives High School.
I like the idea because
You do?
here's the thing.
Oh.
Kids are elusive creatures, and if they're at
They
a
are.
park, they could easily jet out in front of a vehicle. I'm just talking from experience in my own neighborhood and my previous neighborhood. I've almost hit kids because they can be, behind a car. They run out.
Yeah.
Last night we were at softball again. You guys, my tales of softball. And Darcy, she jets out and there's a car driving so my point is, if it can slow people down, especially near these hot spots, schools,
I
parks.
could see that for sure.
I think it's important because it can happen so fast. And that's for the driver as well. Like, imagine if you were driving along and you hit a child or a kid. How could you ever recover from that? Let alone, of course, the parents and the family of the kid that got hit. So I don't think they're all bad. If they're not, out to just get your money, if it's really for a safety reason, let's slow down, please.
I agree with that. I don't think there's any time I get behind the wheel where that horrible thought doesn't enter my mind. Oh my gosh, what if someone juts out in front of me?
I know.
It's always a frightening
think
thought.
about how many times people hit animals on accident.
Yeah.
You see a squirrel, it's too late, but that could be a person. So I think when people are rushing, and now everybody's
It's
looking
true.
at their phones while they're driving, I'll get off my soapbox. Let's go.
$35, everybody, if you are going 6 to 10 miles per hour over the limit. 6 to 10. So that means you can still, sorry, Caitlin, you can still cruise at 5 miles per hour over the limit,
Yeah.
and you will avoid a ticket.
Yeah.
And it kicks up. If you're going 11 miles per hour over the limit, it kicks up to $100 fines. Have you gotten a red light ticket yet? From an
No.
automated one?
No, have you?
Couple.
Okay, so it's 11 miles per hour plus. So does that mean if you're going like 25
20?
over, it's still $100?
I would have to look into
Do some more
that.
research about it.
I don't think so with the automated, but I could be wrong on that.
Yikes.
Maybe we'll get that answer for you later in the show. And so here's your time frame on this, everybody. June 15th. June 15th, enforcement starts, or June 30th, depending on the locations. So, yes, I have gotten that unfortunate piece of mail where you open it up and you're like, oh no, you see that little city return address, you open it up and you're just like, you know what my strategy is in those situations?
Wrong guy.
I pay it,
No.
I pay it right away. I get it.
Yeah.
I go online, I pay it right away, and then I throw the thing away because I found that when
you
I
forget.
procrastinate, and I'm like, oh, I'll get to that. It just, when it sits on my desk in my room, and every time I see that ticket there,
Makes you mad.
it just makes me mad. So I'm like, all right, biting the bullet right away. I'm getting rid of this thing, and
Well,
just
you
I'm going to put
probably
it out
get
of my
late
mind.
fees too, right?
Yeah, you do.
Yeah,
You do.
so
I haven't procrastinated to that level, but yeah.
The toll road scam, though, speaking of tickets and stuff, I have gotten them I fell for it, first of all, the first time. If you've gotten a text and it says, you owe a toll, and you think, oh no, I owe a toll. I want it like you, let's pay it off, let's get it done.
Yeah.
That happened to me, put in my debit card information, it was fake. And then I keep getting them, so now I've learned my lesson. But watch out for those bills, because
sure.
sometimes they're not real.
And sometimes they are, and there's photo evidence on the ticket as well. There's like the camera get.
No way.
This is a pretty embarrassing story, but after the morning shift, I had a haircut, and I go to a barber on the north side.
Okay.
So I don't like to go all the way home and back out. So after the shift, I get so fatigued, and so what I was doing was I was sleeping. I put the driver's, the chair back as far as it would go, and I was going to take a cat nap. I was taking a cat nap before the haircut, so between my shift
In the
here at
parking
work.
lot.
No, it was on a city street. I didn't pay the meter, and I was in a metered spot.
Oh.
I got a ticket in the mail, a parking ticket, and to add insult to injury, there was a close-up picture.
No.
Whoever the meter person
No,
was.
they zoomed in on you?
Yeah, and it's just like
No way.
you could hear me. It
wait.
was
Here's my question for you.
embarrassing to say the least.
How on earth can you sleep in a public space like that?
I just pulled on the street. I got in the shade, and then I just put my shades, my sunglasses on,
You
and I just tried
weren't
to take.
scared that
I
someone
just
could
tried to
be
take a power nap. No, I was looking at a safe
Peeking on
neighborhood.
you? No,
Yeah.
I couldn't sleep if I knew people could perhaps look at me sleeping.
I should have contested this. I'm just, I guess, too lazy. But I thought you couldn't get a ticket if you were in the car. Like, it's just kind of maybe they had to fulfill
Like
a quota,
an
but
Uber?
I would have appreciated a little knock on the window, like, hey, either pay or, you know what I'm saying?
So there was a person.
Absolutely there was
that
a person.
walked-
Absolutely there was a
Oh.
person. This was not an automated ticket. Yeah.
That's so embarrassing.
I think, you know what? I think I have. I took a picture on my phone. I'll see if I can pull that up.
Yes,
of
I
the
gotta
ticket itself.
see
Because I remember
this.
I sent it to a couple of my friends. Like, can you believe what happened?
That is comical.
All right, so that cost me.
Whoa.
But if you are a fan of live music,
Yeah.
this summer, folks, there is the rare deal from Ticketmaster and Live Nation, Caitlin. They are actually, these are like old school prices. When
$30.
$30.
guys.
Remember, here it is.
$30.
Caitlin, you're
Yeah.
old enough to remember the day. Maybe not, because you're such a youngin'.
I didn't really go to concerts much.
Growing up, like in high
No,
school, you
not
didn't go
really.
in Michigan?
I mean,
'Cause
if we did, it would be like lawn tickets for like
Yeah,
$15,
that's
and then
what
you're
I'd
running
do.
around with your friends.
Hey, so you're in the era where you could pay $15 for a lawn ticket at
Sure.
like one of the. You grew up outside Detroit, so
Yeah.
you okay. I'm guessing there's good venues there. Same with us. I remember it was the World Music Theater down in Tinley Park. I would
Okay.
go for an occasional concert there, $15 or $20. But Live Nation, they are bringing back for a limited time $30 tickets, and there's a pretty decent rundown of participating Chicago shows.
Okay, so let's go through them, eh?
Let's go through these. And these would be shows at the Credit Union 1 Amphitheater and
Yeah.
the Huntington Bank Pavilion in Chicago. That's the Northerly Island venue.
Yeah. Okay. So the dates are May 21st for early access. Opens May 20th. So number 1, Dierks Bentley. So fun. Kesha. Pantera. Are you a fan of Pantera?
No.
Uh-oh, what's that? What?
That's like an old school metal, like 80s hairbanger
is it?
band, I'm pretty sure.
Pantera. Okay, Little Big Town. AJR. Cyndi Lauper. Rod Stewart. Nelly.
Oh.
Nelly.
See, these
Nelly.
names are good.
What? Billy Idol. The Offspring. Simple Plan. The Black Keys. And more.
There we go. There was, I think there's more. Hold on, do we have these? There's a few more, because I remember seeing Simple Minds on there as well. Don't
Oh,
you
yeah.
forget about me. And there were a couple other like old school 80 bands. Styx was on the list as well.
And these are going to be $30 tickets?
Yeah. So to find out more on that, and we can link to it here on the website, livenation.com/ticket to summer.
Yeah.
Ticket to summer. So here's the thing, and if you got your phone with you right now, set a reminder for May 21st, 9 a.m.
That's
May
the-
21st. That's
or
when
May
the tickets
20th
go.
is the early bird.
But I don't know who qualifies
Who gets
for early
that?
access.
We'll have to Google that. So can we maybe go tell a story or two about our favorite concerts?
Ooh. What was your first concert?
That one's not very exciting, but I do have a good story about a concert.
Okay, let's go. Let's hear
So
it.
my first job was in Bristol, Tennessee. Bristol, Tennessee is a very small town. It's darling. It's that town that has Tennessee and Virginia, like on their state street. I think Geico did a commercial there once.
Oh.
Tennessee, Virginia, like one side is one side
Oh
is the other.
wow! So it's right
That's
on the
Bristol.
border, right
Yeah.
on the state line.
So our station was located downtown, and when I first started, one of the pitches that the boss gave me was, we're going to have Mumford & Sons in our parking lot. And I was like, oh, I really like Mumford & Sons. Now, this was years ago. This was, this was probably like 11 years ago. So Mumford & Sons was climbing, if not at their like
Yeah.
peak popularity. And so being at work that evening, we just stepped outside of the station and we were in the concert venue.
Wow!
So the
Right outside the
stage-
station.
Literally in the parking lot. And it's such a small town that it's hard to picture, but it wasn't like all gated off and security guards and things like a concert you would picture in your mind. It was very small town in the middle of downtown, a big stage, and Mumford & Sons, and just not even that, our parking lot. Like that was the crowd. I almost feel like it was for Mumford & Sons because it was such a darling little town that they put little mustaches all over everything.
It kind of fits their whole vibe too.
So I bet like they got a lot of good opportunities to take pictures and videos and stuff to
So it was very
promote it.
picturesque first market for you.
It was incredible. It was an incredible experience, and I still to this day, when I listen to Mumford & Sons, it brings me back to Bristol, Tennessee. What about you?
Okay, well, my first market was Fort Wayne, Indiana. I don't remember going to a concert there, although I sang in the Fort Wayne Philharmonic Choir.
Of course,
just
did.
as something to do, because you're in these small towns. When
You're
you start
amazing.
off as a broadcast journalist, like Caitlin and I, you start off in a small place typically.
You don't say no to the first job.
No, definitely not. I got
Yeah.
one offer.
Right.
I took that offer.
Good for you.
From Fort Wayne, not far from the Michigan line. It was
That's so
northeast
awesome.
Indiana.
So were you playing piano there too?
No, I was just singing.
Just
Yeah,
using
and
your-
just try to get to know folks there. And I think I was the only person under the age of 70
Okay.
or 75 in that. It was me and a bunch of
That's
older
amazing.
folks.
I love it so much.
Bunch of boomers.
Did
yeah.
the station come out and record you? And
No,
like,
I think I
promote you that way?
I didn't really go screaming it from the rooftops that I was
You
in the
should've.
Fort Wayne Philharmonic Chorus, but I did it. First concert ever though that I went to, a live concert. Bonnie Raitt. It was in New Jersey. A friend of mine. They were going anyway, and so I was visiting them at the time we went. Guess who opened for Bonnie Raitt that day? Bruce Hornsby. And he's an amazing pianist.
Yeah.
Amazing pianist. I had no idea that was I don't even think I'd heard of Bonnie Raitt at the time. I just went along.
Yeah.
But then Bruce Hornsby got up, and I've been a Bruce Hornsby fan ever since.
No way.
Because you know I'm a piano guy.
You are a
Yeah.
piano guy.
So
that's special.
yeah, it was. I'll never forget it. So and now
Music
I'm like,
really, it kind of connects. I feel like they've probably done studies where you listen to music and you have an experience like that, and it gets set into your heart and your soul and your being, and then when you hear that song again, it kind of brings all those memories and feelings back.
you know what
So
is
magical.
crazy is watching. So your kids are a little younger than mine, but my 9-year-old is starting to get into music on his own.
Yeah.
They did a unit on Elvis at school. He's like into Elvis now.
I love
I've
that.
never been into Elvis. I've always thought, oh, it's just a little boring, a little old school. Like
Yeah.
I've never gone down that rabbit hole. But because Theo is like, he's into it now. I've gotten to know like all these Elvis songs. He's like, Dad, can I have your phone? Like, no YouTube, man, no YouTube. He's like, I just want to listen to some Elvis.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, fine.
Pull up the Elvis.
Yeah.
I'm with you. I think it's like in human nature because same. My kids are 3 and turning 6, and when I tell you, like, if I hear a song that I really like for example, this week's song is AWOL Nation Sail. Have you heard that song?
I probably have heard it. I don't know songs by name.
I'm gonna freaking play it. It's a great song, you guys. Anyways, if you turn it up in the car, you really can get into the beat.
Oh, there you go.
And my kids are obsessed with it.
us.
So any song that has a good beat or a good, feel, they like it too. Even
That's
if
cool.
they don't know. And my daughter always goes, "What are they talking about?" I'm like, "I don't know. Just listen to the song. I don't know." It's so cute, though. I love that.
All right. Well, another thing trending this morning, everybody, Airbnb. Airbnb is about to unleash a couple of features that are this is so 2025.
Okay.
I know you've been on the air for like 4 hours straight, so you might not have had a chance to kind of go down a wormhole on this, Caitlin.
Oh.
But Airbnb is starting to offer in the app, so not only can you browse the properties, you can now book a personal chef, a massage, a spa treatment, even a makeup artist at your venue. So
Wow.
and they have Airbnb experiences as well. And you can do things like, book a cooking class, do a museum tour. So it's all there in the app.
That's the way to go.
It's really tailoring these experiences. They're about to roll this out in 260 different cities. I wasn't able to pinpoint whether Chicago is one of them, but you have to assume, with it being one of the biggest cities in the country, that Chicago is going to be among these. But I think there's 10 different categories. I was kind of perusing some of these. You can if you want to book like a celebrity chef or a celebrity trainer, like an influencer trainer, to do some workouts when you get to your destination.
Bizarre.
So look for that in the app. I've actually never booked an Airbnb via the app. I'm always on
the computer.
Because I'm worried I'm going to make a mistake.
I always make mistakes. Yeah. I get that.
When you travel, and I know you said because of your kids, traveling's not at the top of your list right now. Do you go Airbnb or do you go like classic
Depends
hotel
on where
or
we're
resort?
going, right? Like if we're going to a small town, I feel like we play it safe and go to a hotel for visiting family. That's really the only time we travel. But if I was going to I'm going to try to be more intentional about spending those, like a quick night away with my family, because I feel like that's when you make the memories, whether you're camping or whatever you're doing. But I do want to do Airbnb more often, and it looks like
Have
these
you done an
experiences-
Airbnb before?
When I did do an Airbnb was with my girlfriends, with their families too.
Oh, yeah.
So if there's a ton of us and we're all packing in, you don't want to be in a hotel where your
No,
family's
it's more
over
fun to
there
have your
and
own
our
space.
family's over there.
Yeah.
So in that instance, Airbnb a house would be fantastic.
I've booked countless over the years, only had one bad experience.
What happened?
What
Stinky
happened
towels?
was, it was dirty. It was dusty. And you could tell the beds hadn't been changed.
Oh gosh.
When we got there.
Did they have
everybody?
laundry?
I was on a guy's trip.
Oh.
This was in Puerto Rico, actually.
Then it
and
doesn't matter.
we just slept on top of we had no other option. And it had gotten good reviews, but our previous host had canceled that day, so we had to call an audible and get another one. And it had this place.
You weren't a fan.
Oh, it
Did
was
you
bad.
leave a bad review?
You know what? I wasn't the one who booked it. It was my friend who booked it, and I'm
Pretty
sure
sure that
he
they
left
did.
a bad review. And he's a host as well himself, so I think he knows the whole ecosystem there.
The leaving the reviews thing, it would take a lot for me to leave someone
a bad review.
On Facebook Marketplace, you can sell stuff to whatever. I checked out. You get a review if you sell things.
Yes.
Somebody 2 years
and
ago.
you get a review on Airbnb too. I have other friends who've been removed from the platform.
Oh no.
I don't know why, and they don't know why either.
See, that's the thing. I was going to say 2 years ago, I got a bad review from some lady.
As a guest?
As a seller on Facebook
Oh.
Marketplace. She gave me a 1 star, and I was like, I don't even remember this person. So watch out for
Do
those
you remember
reviews.
what you sold?
No, not at all. I don't remember. It was 2022.
I want to dive into that.
Me too.
Caitlin, that's
Curious.
interesting. All right, we're coming up. Okay, as we mentioned, people are actually talking about the weather for a few reasons today. Not only the heat, and the fog and the incoming thunderstorms, but also something going on in Minnesota. I'm gonna debrief Caitlin when we come back after this. Thursday, 10:26 a.m. Thank you for joining us here on Chicago Now. We have a very special guest coming up to talk about the Bears' schedule, which was just released last night. Quickly, before we get to him, Caitlin, wildfires in the Midwest.
Yeah,
I can't make
okay.
sense out of this, but what's the situation
Well,
here?
here locally, I know we were going to pull up video out of Minnesota, I believe, of wildfires. We actually have the threat of spreading fire fast, especially tomorrow. Before we get to tomorrow, we've got so much to discuss because our record today is 91. We're going to get close, upper 80s, low 90s, and this heat is going to go all the way downtown. If you're making your plans, know it is going to be toasty. Here's that video that we were
Look
just
at
talking
that.
about. It's spooky. We do have dry conditions returning tomorrow, and that is going to be our number one concern tomorrow, I guess, along with the chance for a few stronger thunderstorms in the afternoon on your Friday too. But today, between the hours of about 3 p.m. and 10 p.m., we have the chance for severe weather. If these thunderstorms happen as a cold front moves through, they could have, within these storms, 2 to 3 inch diameter hail, winds above 75 miles per hour, so damaging winds, and also tornadoes are possible. This is happening today, Chicago.
This would be wild if this unfolded during the Beyonce show tonight. Bring that hat, a big one, to protect yourself from the cowboy and one of those
Well, I
chin
heard
straps to
she's
keep the
going to
hat
be
on.
like flying through the air and everything. I don't know the protocol with that. Of course, if we have a tornado warning in Chicago, we will be breaking in, so you'll be covered. And I know some of you have weather anxiety. Don't worry. We're tracking this. This is, again, one of those situations where this cold front is coming. We know it's coming. So this isn't going to be a surprise. And if these thunderstorms start to pop, we'll let you know.
Okay.
We'll let you know, and we'll tell you
You guys do such
when
a
and where
great
it's
job.
going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So heat, then a cold
Sign
front.
up on our Fox 32 weather app, by the way. You can sign up for those push notifications in case you're out busy running around. And
Bears.
Oh, we're talking about
Bears.
the Bears.
Okay, I'm
But
getting the.
You'll get the notification, by the way, if a severe.
All right, enough of the weather. Now we
Bears.
got to go to the sports.
Yep.
Eddie
Eddie.
from Barstool. Yes.
There he is.
Yes.
Hey, Eddie. Good
I
morning.
missed you, man. Eddie, the last time you and I spoke face to face was during this whole Bernstein thing.
That's right. I remember that. I do have to say, out of the gate, obviously I'm excited about the schedule. We'll get into it. Ponce, the shirt's looking great today.
Thank you, man. I try hard.
The first time I'm not seeing you all blazered up. You look like you're ready for North Avenue Beach. Got some good color. You look
He
good.
is. He is.
Oh, man.
We're casual on this show. We just want to hang out and chat with you.
Eddie and I go a long way back. All right, let's talk about this schedule. Your initial reaction when it was unveiled. For folks who have not seen it, we've been airing the graphics all morning. Generally speaking, I know the first half of the season or before the bye week, we're stacked with a bunch of away games. What's your assessment of the schedule and kind of run people through the structure of it this year?
Well, first and foremost, we go to Vegas in September. They robbed Chicagoans out of a nice November, December Vegas trip. I don't know what the league's thinking. They know Chicago people like to go to Vegas. Yeah. You like to hit the pool, go to the Aria, go to wherever you like to stay, and play some bets. They robbed Chicagoans out of that. So I was upset with that first and foremost.
I think that with good reason.
Yeah.
With good reason. Now, in terms of launching, we got a new coach, got a new head coach, got a couple roster additions here. Does the schedule pose a challenge? Is it a tough schedule given the fact that we got a lot of new pieces, Eddie?
Anthony, it's actually the second hardest schedule in the league, tied with the Lions. The hardest is the New York Giants, so it's the second hardest schedule. So we got our work cut out for us. We got a lot of tough road games. We also have 5 out of our last 8 we have 8 home games. 5 of them are in November or later. So we're going to have some not so great days. I mean, we're used to bear weather. We like bear weather. We thrive in bear weather. But I know some people like to go out there in a T-shirt and tailgate. But overall, it is a tough schedule.
So we're starting on Monday Night Football at home against the Vikings. Do you think that this could set the tone for the whole season?
Yeah, I mean, it's a huge game. It's a huge game for the Vikings, too, because J.J. McCarthy's, they're going to have a rookie quarterback there who wasn't able to play a snap last year. But, yeah, you come out on primetime and you beat a 14-win team from last year who won the division. I think 100% you could set the tone, and the Bears could look to be a force to be reckoned with. And, either way, though, Caitlin, I promise you, Chicago will overreact to that game. I promise you.
Oh, we never overreact to any game. Eddie, don't we play the Lions the following week? Isn't that a 15-win team from last year?
Yeah. So, yes, excuse me. They won the division. They played in that season finale there at the end of the year. But, yeah, that we do play the Lions. That's going to be Ben Johnson returning back to Detroit. So a little extra juice is going for that game because I don't think they're very happy with him, how the season ended and how he left like immediately after they got bounced from the playoffs. So that's going to be another one, back-to-back divisional games. So if you come out of that 2-0, it'll be all-time.
Wow.
All-time
Imagine coming out of that 2-0.
And for the ladies that are listening, do you guys think that the Lions quarterback looks like Ryan Gosling?
She thinks Jared Goff looks like Ryan Gosling.
He's got some Gosling in him, Kate. I can see that. I see where you're
Don't hate it.
Hey, this is a little-known fact, Eddie. Ryan Gosling has a crush on Caitlin.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Keep that rumor going.
How did this happen?
Tell your friends.
He visited the station once and was...
I was on the floor smitten.
Yeah, she was smitten. And we digress. How about this Week 5 bye? What do you think of that? Is it better to have a bye earlier in the season or later? I haven't given this a ton of thought, but what do you think of that? Is that too early to get the 2 weeks off?
Yeah, I think Week 5 bye should be illegal, and I think whoever gave the Bears a Week 5 bye should be in jail. I think it's total BS. Like, you finally get your footing. Like, you want a mid-season bye. You want to be able to get some guys back from injury. To get it 4 games in really, really blows, to be quite honest with you.
Man, I didn't think of it that, but that's a very good point.
Could we turn to the national?
It's like you're getting a break before you need a break. It's
yeah. That's unfortunate.
You get a bathroom break. You get one bathroom break. You don't even need to go yet.
Yeah.
It's like when you had like an early period lunch, like if you had like third period, it's 10:30.
Not even hungry yet. Yeah.
I know. Okay, so let's talk about Bill Belichick's relationship with Jordan Hudson, shall we? Okay. What are your thoughts? How much of a distraction, if any, do you think it's going to be created around the UNC football program?
Okay, I know, like, you guys are here to ask the questions, and I'm kind of trying to provide an answer, but the more I think about Bill and Jordan, all I can think of is more questions. Like, what are they talking about in the car? Like, what do they talk about in the car? Like, Kate, this girl she was watching Caillou 12 years ago, right? Like, it fascinates me.
Yeah, so you've got more questions than we have, I feel like.
what do you even know? Is he all there right now?
I mean, he's never given much more than a grunt in a
Right.
press conference, right? Like that's always kind of been his MO. So it's not like we've seen anything from a verbal communication standpoint. He seems the same to us, right? So I can't say that at all.
You know, you saw that CBS interview, right, where he had the ripped sweatshirt? Do you have any insight into, is that just like his personal style, or like there was a whole big hole ripped in it?
That was her for sure, probably.
Is that her
Yeah,
influence?
I
What's
think
happening there?
originally because he always wore the cut off sleeves hoodies, right? I think originally like holes and rips is kind of his look, and I think he's just kind of leaned into it. So I think that is intentional.
Do you know what prompted, I know the school, I don't know if it was the athletic director, banned her from being on the premises.
What? I didn't hear that. Is that true?
So
Whoa.
that was reported, and then UNC refuted that claim. So I
Oh.
don't really know what's going on. If they were just trying to, stoke the flames, and before things got out of hand. But I don't know. That one video I'm sure you guys saw where she walked onto the field and the boots, like that was one of the most bizarre things too, even more so than the Good Morning America or the whatever that CBS
I think it was on
show.
CBS.
Uh,
Yeah, that's a head scratcher for sure.
I don't know. I think, and I do think that like the true fans of football are just annoyed at the distraction. Like, let's just not, can we not? Let's focus on the game. You know what I mean? Whereas we're like, wait, what's going on?
Yeah, I'm just like
Give me the
elder
details.
abuse, elder abuse.
Yeah, like Caitlin, you never cared more about North Carolina football than you did right now, though. You could say that.
Right.
So I guess it's not all bad. I mean, for the program, they probably like it, right? Just like the NFL liked the Taylor Swift stuff because it drew attention,
Yeah,
drew
more eyeballs,
viewers, drew
more
conversation.
eyeballs. Yeah, for sure. All right, Eddie. Hey, what in terms of overall outlook? I don't think I've checked in on with you, at least personally, since we made this since the draft for sure. But what is your outlook on the season? What's your excitement level, your level of optimism as we head into 2025?
Well, I refuse to let myself get too high anymore, Anthony. Like I'm not
That's
doing it to
good.
myself anymore. Like I just keep setting myself up for failure when I get too excited. So I'm measured. I'm cautiously optimistic. I think we had the worst head coach in football last year. I think we have an awesome head coach now, and I think just that will cover up a lot of the warts from last year. However, like we talked about, the schedule's tough, so I don't think it's going to be overly successful, I should say.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I am optimistic.
What do you think about playoffs? Like, how does the tough schedule figure into our chances of getting into the playoffs this year?
It's hard because last year I thought we were going to compete for a wild card spot too, and it's not hard to compete for a wild card spot now with the extra spot that they've given since like 2020. I think they added that 7th spot, but they're going to be there in the hunt, I think. But the problem is how good is this division going to be? Are the Lions going to still be as good without Ben Johnson? How's J.J. McCarthy going to be? The Packers are kind of in this weird gray area. The division that was so good last year has more question marks this year. So I think we got to see how that plays out first.
And with regard to our first-round draft pick, I know that was kind of a head-scratcher when it happened, taking another tight end. What do you make of it, though, this 2 tight end set and how this fits in with what Ben Johnson wants to accomplish this year?
Yeah, I'm in full trust Ben Johnson mode. If Loveland was his guy, if he thinks that's going to make the field more vertical, it's going to stretch things out, I'm all for it. If that's what he needs to run his offense with Caleb Williams, I'm there, right? Of course, I was surprised we went tight end, wide receiver with the first pick and the second pick, but I'm in full. He has the keys, Anthony. He has the keys, and I'm a passenger. And for better or worse, if we go off a cliff or if we take the final pilgrimage through Rainbow Road, I'm on board.
Eddie, this is my first time getting to chat with you, and you are a
the best.
breath of fresh air. You are wonderful.
Eddie, thank you. You're welcome
You're
on
so
Chicago
fun.
Now anytime,
Yes.
sir. Anytime.
Thank you, Caitlin. I could see why Ryan Gosling swooned over you. Great too.
Exactly, right?
We got to cut that clip and post it.
Hey, check back in. Let's check back in as the season draws near, all right?
Sounds good. See you guys.
All right. We have, it's 10:38 on your Thursday afternoon. We are inching closer toward the weekend. All right, coming up, we are going to visit some more trending topics here in Chicago.
Including the bear, the show The Bear.
Exactly, which
Yeah.
I know you're going to have to guide me through this.
You don't
'cause
watch The Bear?
No, I do, but I'm only about halfway into season 2.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
All right, so there's buzz around
Lots of buzz.
The Bear.
Yep.
When we come back. Stay with us.
Yes, chef. ChicagoNow. Anthony and I are having a blast with you today. Happy Thursday. It's time to get into Reddit about Chicago this week. And we're talking about The Bear. So we teased you before, but we want to let you know that The Bear season 4 drops on June 25th.
June 25th.
It's coming. So yes, chef, The Bear is back next month. So The Bear season 4, let's get a little bit into it. So Fox announced that it will premiere in full on Wednesday, June 25th. 8 p.m. is when we have to wait to watch it. This is going to be on Hulu. So the new season picks up right where season 3 left off, with Carmi receiving the restaurant's first review. Was it a rave or was it a roast? So I know this last season, it got positives and it got negative reviews, I think. I love this show. I'm obsessed that it's in Chicago. I think it's so fun. But they say that season 4 promises more pressure and change. So the crew must adapt, adjust, and overcome as they push for excellence and decide what's worth keeping as everything evolves. So a teaser released earlier this year hints at tough choices ahead. So in the clip, I think that's the clip that we just showed you, Sydney, wasn't that the one? Did it have Sydney in it? Speaks with Donna.
I saw Sydney.
So
I didn't see Donna, though.
Jamie Lee Curtis, about her possible departure from The Bear. And Donna's reply was, sometimes your work family is closer to you than your family. I could see, I mean, you do spend a lot of time with your work family.
Probably, you could arguably spend more time with your work family in certain situations than you do with your family.
It's true.
So like I was mentioning to Caitlin during our break, I believe I am halfway through season 2 of The Bear. Now, I know there's a statute of limitations on spoiler alert, so feel free to speak freely. But I feel like the most recent episode of it that I watched was one of the best single episodes of television that I've ever seen in my life.
And you stopped. Why?
Because I just got sidetracked after that. I remember my wife had a bunch of friends in town, so I was binging it.
Sure.
And you know, being a parent, you get sidetracked a lot. But it was the episode, it took place over Christmas. And it was a flashback episode.
Showed his brother.
Showed his brother when he was alive.
Yes.
And it showed this, there was just such a poignant episode on so many levels. Jamie Lee Curtis's performance. You know which episode I'm talking about.
Yeah,
right?
where she loses her mind.
She loses
She's
her
the
mind.
mom.
Exactly.
She gets mad. Is that the one where she drives the car into the house?
Yeah.
Yeah. She does such a great job with that show.
But I just remember I'm gonna have to start catching up again now that I'm on deadline with June 25th, season 4. The characters all of a sudden, just so many of them came to life for me even more after that episode. I'm like, wow, now I kind of get the backstory between Carmi and his brother.
Yeah.
And that the note, what is the note that he finds in the restaurant? It says something like,
what is
like,
the
go
note?
kill it or whatever, like, get it done, whatever. It's just this inspirational.
The one we showed during the Pope
Yeah,
stuff.
exactly.
What was it, Jenna? Do you remember?
Comment in the comments.
I'll
Help us
probably
out,
pull it up.
viewers.
It's and Carmi too, because he was a.
Let it rip. Thank you.
Let it
Thank
rip.
you. Let it rip. You get the lump. I got the lump in the throat
You know,
watching that.
and you remember how we were talking about names the other day? The Bear made me want to name Bodie Bear.
That's a cute name.
Isn't it cute?
Yeah.
Because wasn't that the nickname for his brother was Bear or something? Anyways, Carmi, the character, the actor, he was also in Shameless, which is such a Chicago show.
He's been spotted around town. Jeremy Allen White.
Yeah, he has a look-alike that is
Yes. The resemblance is
could be
uncanny.
the same guy. Yes, we've had him
Uncanny.
on the show a couple of times.
Yes.
But I do feel like he is so Chicago, and I wish that he was from Chicago because that would make a lot of sense.
I love. Perhaps my favorite thing about the show is how it is truly a love letter to the city of Chicago.
Yeah.
And you never know what you're going to see. Again, I'm only halfway in, but you never know what you're going to see during the sequences, those montages they have to illustrate the fact that time is passing, or in the intro you see these scenes from Chicago, and I'm always on the lookout for, oh, that's that intersection,
Yes.
or that's that neighborhood, or I've been there, or I passed there, or that looks familiar.
Yeah.
It's so fun.
And I also like how it opens up the culinary experience, like
Yeah.
behind the curtain of what it's like to work in a really nice restaurant, because you really don't understand the passion that chefs have. And I know that this show is kind of, it's considered a comedy, I believe. But I do think that just for the chef world and those people who really enjoy fine dining, like our very own Sylvia Perez, it's
She appreciates the finer things in life.
she does.
Sylvia.
But it's really cool. It's like, it's just something that you don't know till you know, I guess. You know what I mean? And I think that goes with a lot of things, like for you, art, or music.
Oh, for sure.
But yeah, being a chef and the culinary world in general,
It
it seems
for
very
sure opens your
competitive
eyes.
and
And
serious. It's serious.
Yeah, and we are fortunate just to live in arguably the best culinary town.
Yeah.
Not only in the country, but I mean, it's world renowned here.
People
in
come in from
Chicago.
all around the
when I
world.
leave Chicago, sometimes like, wow, I can't find a good hot dog, or I can't find good traditional Mexican food. Like,
Yeah.
there are things that I just want to be here
We've
for.
got Chinatown and
Yeah.
all the different niche places that you can go
name
get
it.
good
You
stuff
name
to
it.
eat.
So we want to show you a cool collage of Chicago. Speaking of our love for the city, this is another thing that is trending on Reddit. All right, Caitlin.
Yes,
I'm going to put you on the spot here.
Michael Jordan.
This was I love how he's front and center, but what can you pick out of this? This was something that one of the username. Can we get the username? I feel bad not crediting the username who posted this.
Maggie Daly Park.
There you
the
yeah.
Grand Park.
Yes.
I see, what do I see? The Field Museum. I see the Bean, of course. I see the Pier Ferris wheel. I see Museum of Science and Industry. What else do I see?
That's
Willis
the
Tower.
field. Yeah, Willis Tower. There you go, the Sears Tower.
We've got our L, of course.
Oh yeah, the L running through there.
What else do we have? I guess just the cityscape in the
Got
background.
Soldier Field.
I see some clouds in this picture. That's
And there
where
you
my
go.
eyes
The Riverwalk. You
The
see the Riverwalk on the bottom
Riverwalk.
left-hand corner.
Yes.
And we have Buckingham Fountain. What else did you miss? Soldier Field. And then some of the more recognizable buildings. Obviously, the tallest buildings made it. We got Two Prue there, the Willis Tower. What's the new Genie Gang? The St. Regis. That's the one that's okay. The one that's it's really blue. It almost looks like it was made out of magnet tiles.
Yes.
Do you see here? I can't get up.
The one that's
but
wavy.
The one that's wavy. Do you see how there's one of the holes? I think that's the
chunk
83.
missing. Is
Yes.
that
Do you know why?
I'm guessing there's a green space to sit in.
That's
hang
very
out.
cute. Okay.
Oh no, what is it?
Apparently they messed up
No.
in the design, and whatever
Aerodynamics.
civil engineer, yes, speaking of the wind, the Windy City, they were worried about the building not being stable with regard to the wind. And so the entire, I believe it's the 83rd floor up there, and it's in the 80s, but that chunk out of the middle of it is so that the wind can pass through the building so
I
that
think
it
I
maintains
remember
structural
this.
integrity.
Wasn't this just like 3 years ago or something?
Yeah, that's a brand new building right there,
Yeah.
the St. Regis.
Well, I mean,
It's a beautiful building. It's a beautiful,
Yeah.
and I don't think that thing takes away much at all, but
we could just pretend that it's a lounge spot.
yeah, or green, and I think, well, hopefully it is a
Maybe
green
it
space. It'd be
is.
interesting to go up there and
Unless
check it
that's
out.
where the wind tunnel is and you don't want to really be hanging out.
Does anything about this collage stand out to you that is missing from there? Because I know some of the Reddit comments were like, "Where's this? Where's that? Where's XYZ?"
That's a good
I don't see the
question.
lions.
Or Lake
the Art
Michigan,
Institute
right?
lions.
Like Lake Michigan should be on here.
Yeah, probably should.
Because it's beautiful.
Yeah, we got the river there at least.
Yeah.
What else is missing?
Wait, what
from
did you
there,
say was
Chicago?
missing?
The lions.
Oh, the lions.
The Art Institute lions. Yeah.
Maybe they're in that little corner there. We just can't see them if you squint real hard. I don't know.
Yeah.
What do I think is missing outside of Lake Michigan? I feel like they hit all
They
the
got
hot
they
spots,
checked all the
kinda.
boxes. Oh, here's something.
What?
This is very very recent, so I'm not sure when this person created the collage. Pope Leo.
Yes.
Pope Leo.
We can
got
put him up
Jordan
on the
there.
left corner where we have too much sky.
Yeah,
Put
exactly.
Leo
Put
right there.
put Pope Leo up there. Put Oprah up there.
We can put Carmi up there. We're
Carmi.
just talking about the bear. I
So
think they did
good.
a great
I
job.
think that's very well done how they
Who
did that. I
we
was
know?
I was hoping for the Reddit user. It was someone they photographed and created
this
that
was
collage.
on Reddit. This
yeah,
was on Reddit too.
exactly.
Whoa.
All right, another thing popping on Reddit, life pro tip. I had to look that up. LPT means life pro tip. Here's the question. If multiple people in the left lane, I'm talking about Chicago drivers here, if multiple people in the left lane are tailing you or zooming around you on the right, you need to move over. Caitlin, do you ever linger in that left lane, or are you like me where I'm like,
You
oh,
stay in the
no.
middle lane, eh?
No, I
You
pass.
zoom?
I pass in the left lane, and then I get back over.
Okay. What do you do if you're cruising along and you're passing the people in the lane to your right, but there's still someone tailgating you? So you're still passing people, but you're just not going as fast as the person behind you wants you to go. What are you supposed to do?
I think you're still fine.
Are
As
you?
long as you're, I think so. That's my opinion. If you are actively passing people, but you're
Right.
just not, and you're getting tailgated by someone behind you,
Yes.
if you're passing other traffic and you're in the left lane, I think you're totally fine.
Okay.
That person, if they're going that fast, they need to then speed up and go around you.
And they need to race car it
Yeah.
around. Okay, yeah, I agree. I think that's this is another hot topic about driving is the zipper method. When there's a lane that's closed, what you're technically supposed to do, I guess, is you go all the way to the end and then you get over. You're not supposed to get over fast. Sometimes people get mad if you don't get over when you see that your lane is going to be ending. But I guess the fastest, most efficient way to do it is to stay in your lane and then
Until the last second?
all the way to the end, and then you get over. And everyone is supposed to do that.
And that is supposed to, so collectively, that would be the best.
That's the zipper method. They
The
kind of just mesh together at the end. But here's my problem. I get to the end,
And no one
and then
lets
I
you?
put on my blinker, and nobody. You know what makes me mad? Like the most mad in traffic, Anthony, is when, for that example, you see someone, maybe there's a car that's stopped in front of you, like they're broken down. You don't see it till you get up on them. And then the person that's behind you gets around and zooms so they don't let you in. So you are stuck there because you came up on this car and the person behind, like you are about to get over, but then the person that's behind you
They
gets
go over first.
faster.
Yeah, and so you're stuck behind the stalled car.
Yes.
I've been there. Yep.
Is that not that is the worst. Like what it's so rude. That is so rude. Also, honking. Sorry, I'm on a box here. I was turning into my neighborhood the other day. 2 instances actually. This was the same day. I was leaving the parking garage and this person was coming in and I thought I was getting out of their way and they laid on their horn. I thought I was being nice and they were so mad they rolled down the window and started yelling at me. And then another instance that same day, I was pulling into my subdivision and I'm one of those people that wants to wait till there's a good clearing to turn, especially if I've got my kids in the car.
Totally.
I'm not taking
Err
any
on the
risks.
side of caution, right?
So I was just waiting until this other car was gonna go by and the person behind me
honking,
wailing on their horn.
Not
I'm
cool.
like, what is
Not
wrong
cool.
with you?
That honestly makes me want to take longer. Okay, you're going to be like that? I'm going to take my time.
I'm actually going to wait for the next car,
Yeah,
too.
exactly. I'm going to wait for the next car. My pet
not
peeve
nice.
is when I'm trying to turn left at an intersection and the car in front of me has room to go up. You're supposed to go into the intersection. Even if the light is yellow, you're supposed to go into that intersection and get the whole car into that intersection.
So you're going either way. Yeah.
Exactly. I don't like being stuck behind someone who's turning left and they don't go into the administration or into the intersection at all.
Right.
That's my pet peeve.
Yes.
People lingering in the left lane, like that Reddit user said, and people who don't go out in the middle of the intersection when they are turning left. So make a note of it. Caitlin and I are mad.
We are.
We are mad.
We are. All right. I think, do we have to go to a break?
Okay, we're going to go to a quick break, but Caitlin.
Yes.
We have tales from Caitlin's softball experience.
More.
You're going to want to see this along with the visual. I understand we have racked up for your viewing pleasure and at my expense the picture
Cannot wait.
that this meter maid took of me asleep in my car when we come back.
Another one.
So rude.
So rude.
Oh, it's a slideshow time. Okay, as promised, this is your Chicago Now co-host.
Straight up your nose.
With the photograph. This is from some issuing officer. Yeah, I cropped out the details so you can get my license plate and everything. I got a ticket for sleeping in my car in a metered spot that was not paid for. This was before a haircut, after my morning shift. And Caitlin, come on, this shift is a tough one, right?
Is.
We have to set our alarms for like 2 whatever a.m.
Yeah.
And when you have a lull, you want to maximize it. This is me trying to get a power nap in. That was the most expensive power nap I've ever taken in my life. I think I got ticketed for 50 or 75 bucks.
That's just...
And here we go. Look at this you guys look like just a happy couple right there. Tell us the backstory here, Caitlin.
They said don't ask for a picture because I'm sure that it would just be super annoying to these guys when they come in, these celebrities. But I was standing at that big board waiting to do weather, and here comes Ryan Gosling walking into the studio. Tell me you wouldn't lock eyes with this guy and say, would you mind taking a quick picture? That face that I'm making, I was on cloud 9. And by the way, he smelled like soap. Smelled like soap.
He smelled like soap.
Very clean.
This is just unfair. You know, when he came in, I remember that day too.
Do you?
There was part of me, yes, that was like, please be shorter than me. Please, just some
Were you
flaw.
there in the studio?
I was there too. I remember. And then
No
he walked
way.
by me. He's like a couple inches
And he
taller
smelled
than
good.
me.
Yeah, he was a really nice guy. Wish he would come back. Okay, this talk. So here's a video that I posted on my Instagram page because I am a hot mess mom, you guys. I'm late to everything. I never know when anything is happening. So this video I was taking because it was appreciation for this purple helmet mom. That's my kid's helmet. And then this last purple helmet, both of them have the stickers on them from when you purchase the helmets. I am that mom that I don't have time or the capacity to think to even take the sticker off the helmet. So there was another mom there that also had a stick. I don't have the names on my kids' stuff. I leave stuff at the softball games. Last night I left a couple of items. I am a mess, and I appreciate other hot mess moms.
We'll see you right back here tomorrow, everybody.